Okay, so let me just start this video by saying that Christopher Nolan is an amazing director. The Dark Knight trilogy is a great film series, and Heath Ledger's Joker is one of the best villain performances we have ever gotten on the big screen. So, in saying that, while these three movies are good and are great films, they are unfortunately not good Batman films, as they have misrepresented his character very heavily and have changed the way casual fans view his character, therefore changing the way future projects have been made about him. My first main point actually is Bruce Wayne himself. The main issue I have is that in Batman Begins, he trains and he does everything to become Batman, which is all good and fine. However, by the time The Dark Knight Rises comes along, he's been hiding for 8 years, and that is so unlike his character. Batman should not want to stop, he should not want to take a break, he should not see Batman as a burden. The whole point is that he has the trauma from when he was a kid and when he saw his parents be murdered, and he made a vow and he's never going to stop. Even all the way in Batman Beyond, we still see Batman trying to, or Bruce Wayne trying to, do his job as Batman and do this in an extreme age. Which, for me personally, I don't think Batman should give up. I don't think he should want to give up, and I don't think he should want to put down the mantle. It's an obsession, it's the core of his character, and not something that needs to be changed. Christopher Nolan had taken Batman's greatest strength and turned it into a problem that needed to be resolved for no reason. One thing that I think the series did the most damage with was their whole approach of grounded realism, asking basically what would Batman be like if he was in our world fighting like crimes that could be committed in our world. While this is great and while it's an interesting watch, it has done too much damage to the point where this is what we're getting over and over and over again. Batman is compelling because he lives in a fantastical world among gods and monsters and he holds his own. The core of his character is that he's a regular person around people with extraordinary abilities. For example, the fact that he can stay in the Justice League, lead the Justice League, stand among characters like Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and hold his own through his own intelligence, preparation, and just overall sheer will. That's what makes him interesting, that's what makes him so unique, and that's why he's inspired so many. The entire realism approach, while it is interesting to watch once or twice, shrinks the idea of Batman and doesn't make him as interesting and as compelling and takes away the whole kind of uniqueness about his character in the world that he is in. The ones that suffer even more from this approach than Batman are his villains. In the comics, Ra's al Ghul is one of Batman's greatest villains because he's been alive for centuries. He has vast amounts of knowledge. He's a global eco-terrorist with resources of a small nation and a pit that keeps bringing him back from the dead. He's not just a physical threat, he's a psychological one. Batman Begins unfortunately takes all of that away from Ra's al Ghul, just making him the head of a ninja training camp. They take away the Lazarus Pit, the centuries of knowledge and history that he has, and he just becomes a guy in a suit who died in a train. And it's nowhere near as entertaining, it's nowhere near as interesting. The same thing happens with Bane. In the comics, Bane is a villain who is strategic, he's studied Batman, he understands everything about him, and he actually broke the bat. This is nowhere near as interesting in the movies as he just becomes almost like a henchman for Talia al Ghul without even noticing. He's nowhere near as smart, he's nowhere near as cunning, and he's nowhere near as scary. Taking away everything about his character and dumbing him down so much to make him fit the grounded realism approach takes away so much from them and makes them 10 times more boring. He's no longer a tactical genius, and all the building up they do to his character in The Dark Knight Rises just ends up being a plot to work for Talia al Ghul. The man who broke the bat is now reduced to a supporting character in someone else's revenge plot. Now, before everyone starts getting mad, I do believe the Joker was brilliant. I think he was amazing. Heath Ledger's performance is 1 in a million, and he earns every bit of reputation that he gets from this film. Overall, he's been the biggest highlight for me of this trilogy, and no one can ever take that away. Now, unfortunately, Hollywood saw the great success of this trilogy and took away the exact wrong lesson from it, which was to make every superhero movie dark, grounded, and way more serious. This unfortunately gave us Man of Steel, which is another great example of misrepresentation of a superhero, as they make Superman almost like he's just on a rampage and ends up killing Zod when he could have very easily actually saved the family. In Batman vs Superman, the same thing happened, and the original Justice League cut. Overall, the entire Snyderverse had horrible representation of characters and was some of the furthest thing we've ever seen from the source material. Thank goodness, recently been getting a lot better representation of these characters. We've recently had Superman, which was absolutely amazing. We had the Batman as well, which was very close to the source material. I really loved how these two portrayed their characters without getting stuck in the super gritty kind of dark and serious vibe that's been going on recently. I think we're back on track to make some great superhero movies and have amazing DC cinematic universe that we've been wanting for ages. And I think James Gunn can do an amazing job with the new Batman. I really hope he does because I really loved how he did Superman. Overall, I would just like to say I do not think the Nolan trilogy are bad movies in any way whatsoever. I just think they don't represent Batman's character and his supporting characters in a very accurate way. In saying that, they are great movies, like I said, and I would definitely recommend them. And if you've made it this far, please drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. See if you guys agree, disagree. If you have any counterpoints, I'd love to see them. Overall, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like more deep dives like this in the future. Thank you.